Hi.
it's funny, I was thinking about it, how, when I first started doing this back in the 90s, um, Merv Griffin gave me my first job at resorts. And
Awesome.
that was my first, and I played it just recently. I played it again.
That's so cool. Well, welcome back to Atlantic City. So you're gonna
Thank you. I can't wait.
it's
I'm
gonna
so
be
excited.
yeah, we're excited to have you. Standards and Stories. It's gonna be at Tropicana on Thursday, November 13th at 3:30, which is a great time for people to come for a show. What can
Yeah.
fans expect from your
Well,
show?
it's yeah, first of all, I want to make a connection with the audience. And so you got to expect that, me trying to do that. But I also, um, I want people to get a show. I don't want them to just come to see a singer or a comic I want them to get a whole show. So that's what I try to do. And I kind of liken it, this is kind of silly, but I liken it to, um, those variety shows of days gone by with Ed Sullivan
Yeah, like Ed Sullivan, right?
whoever Dean Martin, and what they did was they had a host, and then they'd have a lot of different acts,
Mhm.
right? Well, I'm the host and all the
On all the
acts.
acts. A one
I
man
got a
show.
hot, I got a hot band. I got a really terrific band. I mean, what do you hear? The piano player, they're all great, but the piano player and the guitar player get to stand out, and they really do. Um, so it's fun to play with them. And then I got some stories that are, um, and this is how I try to make the connection. Like I got a great story about my mother,
Okay.
and I love telling it because she's no longer with me, of course, but I mean it. I just love telling. I wish so much she could see the show. I
Oh,
wish she
I
could see
wish that too. It's funny. I was going to actually ask you, it's kind of an old question, but when you introduced her to Frank Sinatra,
Yes.
how can you talk to us about that?
Well, that's part of this show.
Okay.
This, that, you know, I first used that when I wrote this show. When I wrote Standards and Stories, I used that first show. And then when I wrote the Sinatra story, it was pretty hard not to use it in that too.
Right.
So you'll get that when you come to see the show. Yeah,
That's so cool.
she was, to give you a little bit, she was an original Bobby Soxer. She was, her love and adoration for Frank Sinatra, the man and he was Swoonatra to her.
Aw, that's actually cool. I never heard that. Swoonatra.
Swoonatra, yeah.
That's so
So
neat.
I get to tell some of that stuff, and it's just, I have to say, it is like the most fun thing I get to do. It's so much
Yeah,
fun
I
to
bet.
do the show. And
Yeah.
it's like cooking. When you're cooking and you're chopping garlic, you can't think of anything else. Your
Only
finger, but that's the same thing up there. You just don't think of anything else except, doing the show and trying to make an evening for people. Another thing too, I just think I mean, I'm not trying to, make this more than it is or anything, Whitney, but I do think that with everything that's going on in our world, our country, our world, I just think there's just so much.
yeah,
For an hour and a half,
right.
you come and you just don't think about it. And by the way, I try to do it so you don't get a chance to think.
Yeah, no, that's
What are
great.
you
People
thinking?
need that. We
I
need
go,
that.
I keep my foot on the gas. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I want people to really sit back and just let go and have a good time.
I love that. And I know you have so many great fans everywhere you go, especially here in Atlantic City. And
It's
how do
been
you
great.
maintain being so friendly and humble? I mean, you're on the streets of New York singing, you're talking to people, taking pictures.
I mean, I feel so blessed. I really do. And don't get me wrong, I catch an attitude every once in a while. Trust me. But I just do feel blessed. And and to be honest with you, I'm candid. I wish I was working acting somewhere. I really do. And
Mhm.
thank God that I decided to, do this also, because
Yeah.
it does keep me busy as well. So, I get to go to places that I would never go to, and meet people that I would never meet, and
Yeah.
it's just really, it's it's been a real plus to my life.
That's
just
great.
being able to do it. And I love singing. I mean, I must be something Italian or something, but I can't help it.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah,
have the whole energy and you have the talent, so why not?
I'm lucky. Yeah, I feel very fortunate, really do.
So, if you could act, is there any type of show you'd like to be in? Would you want to be on a reality show?
No, no, never. No, I just finished 3 years on Raising Canaan, right? This show on Stars. I think it's one of the greatest shows I've ever been on. It's so good. It's unbelievable. Patina Miller. There's just, there's just so many great actors in it, and the writing is fabulous, Sasha Penn. And so it was a lot of fun. I played a bad guy, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just, it's that thing comes along, I'll know when my love comes along, as the song says, and I'm
Right,
hoping,
right.
I'd love to be back on Broadway, I'd
Yeah.
love to be doing a play. Um, I've certainly read my share of almost going to be, they're almost going to be. So,
We've all
but,
been through that, Tony.
yeah, but luckily I do have this to, not to fall back on, but to actually go out and enjoy.
Yeah, and it keeps you out there, which is great. And of course, we want to see more of you. And you were talking about garlic, and I know you love to cook, and the holidays are around the corner. Do you have
Mm.
any fun things you like to cook? Was your family love?
You gotta have, well, there's only one thing. Christmas, Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
you have the lasagna. And
Ah,
notice it has an article, the lasagna. It's not
yes.
lasagna. We have lasagna. No, we're having the
Okay.
lasagna. The lasagna. Ma, you making the lasagna? Yeah, I'm making the lasagna. It was like, so that's one thing. We'll make a lasagna. And people don't know the secret. There's a secret to a great lasagna. And the secret is very simple. You have to make the meatballs first.
Oh,
You make
that's
your sauce instead of using hamburger or chopped meat in your lasagna. No
meatballs.
matter how much sauce, it's not going to turn it into meatball. You're going to have to make meatballs. You crush them up and you use that as the.
Oh,
And if you want to even go a little further, you just open up a few sausage, saute it a little bit, and then add that to the meatballs, and you use
yeah.
that as the meat. Oh,
Ooh, that sounds
baby, look at me, I'm
good. I
salivating.
know, me too. Like, I want to eat now. So
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Oh,
we have to have an antipasta, so somebody can say to you, "Hey, don't fill up on the antipasta."
right.
And then then we'll have a full turkey dinner.
Oh,
You know,
that's so
that's
great.
that's what happened to the Italian diaspora that came here in the turn of the century. They really wanted to assimilate. Above all, they wanted to be Americans. You couldn't speak Italian in the house. Everybody had to speak English. It was
Right.
like that. But they didn't want to give up on all their culture, and it manifests itself on Thanksgiving, where you have antipasta, the lasagna, and then a full turkey dinner with everything. And it was that was their grasping for America, and still holding on to just a little bit
And
of
we love it. It's just great tradition. We all love
it's the best. But don't fill up on the antipasta.
but
That's where
don't
it
pull
comes
up.
from.
And we're here in this Philadelphia market, and I know you used to teach at Northeast.
Any
That
Vikings in the house?
what the question I wanted to ask though was, even though you taught there, what was a lesson that you learned from the students?
Oh, well, there was more than one. There was more than one. You know, first of all, to teach, one of the things that happened to me, I was teaching, and one day I had this incredible, I thought, the greatest lesson plan of all time. I march in, I got this plan, boom, back and forth. And there was a teacher who was monitoring me because I was a first year.
Renew, right?
And I did this thing, and it just bombed. It bombed. I mean,
Oh,
it was weird. I had flop sweat. It was weird. So I went to the mentor teacher afterwards, and he said to me that he said, what was wrong with it was that I heard your voice more than I heard the kid's voice.
wow.
And that was a big lesson. By
Yeah.
the way, you know what happened? So we sat and talked for a while, a post-mortem of the day, and he said the good thing is, tomorrow when teaching, tomorrow you have another chance. You get another chance tomorrow. I said, yeah, I know. All right.
Yeah.
He says, and then I started to get up. We were in the alumni office. I started to get up, And as I rose, he said, "Did you cry yet?" And I devolved into, I sobbed, I cried
Oh
so,
my God.
I started crying. And I was so embarrassed that I ran out into the hall, which was weird, stupid, because it was full of kids and
They all
teachers.
see you,
And,
right?
and basically they were like this, sure.
Yeah.
Now, you know. I mean, it was wild. I mean, that's one thing about, I'll never forget about teaching is how much I cried.
One of my good friends is Chuck Darrow. I know he did an interview with you
Yeah, I love Chuck.
local. And I had said to him, I'm interviewing you also. And he's like, I forgot to ask. There was two questions and they're both really good. One of them was, what was your experience on finding your roots? That must have been
It was really, it was, well, first of all, you find out, first of all, that there was Guinea Row in Brooklyn, Guinea Row, which was on Fulton Street, and that my family had a speakeasy on Guinea Row
that's so cool.
with like, what do you call it, trap doors and,
Wow.
what was going on. So, but also, I really I love both sides of my family, don't get me wrong, but my mother's side is just such an example of of an Italian family who came here on the boat. They came steerage. They end up
Right.
in East New York and Brooklyn, and somehow they survive. It's amazing, and they get
Resilient.
here just in time for the depression. I mean, it's insane, but they survive, and it's wonderful. There's six brothers and sisters,
Wow.
and we have 19 first cousins. Yeah,
Wow.
and it's a wonderful family. I wrote a cookbook. Don't fill up any antipasta. It's the name of it, and it's a memoir cookbook about the side, the the
Ah,
camisas,
look at
Anna
me.
Camisa. That was my mother, Anna Camisa.
Do you have any memories? You grew up growing up in Brooklyn and everything with mobsters.
Well, you couldn't really be in those neighborhoods in East New York, at least, without seeing them, knowing them. I used to get coffee for a guy named, well, no, don't mention no names. That's what
Oh
they would
no.
call me. I used to go get coffee. They all hung out at this taxi stand.
Ah,
And I used to go by and they'd say, "Hey, yo, come here. Go get us a cup of coffee." And they'd give me a few bucks for getting the coffee. But you knew who they were.
yeah, right.
They had the nicest cars. They all wear sharkskin suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
A
what
lot
about
a lot of pinky
boxing?
rings.
A lot of pinky rings, yeah, right? And what about boxing? I mean, you're a former professional boxer. I'm actually part of the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, where we have all the big legends that come to Atlantic City every year.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd love to.
I never fought in Atlantic City. I got close. I fought in Newark. I was a club fighter. I got a chance after I got on taxi to fight at the Garden. I fought at the theater for the guy. It felt Forum at the time. And everybody came, all the people from Haxie and all Merv Griffin was there. And it's unbelievable. And I fought a 10 round. I was the main event. I won. So I did have that. But, my boxing career got cut short by, running into this guy who said, "Hey, you ever think about being on TV?" And here I am. So it's an
That's
amazing
so cool.
story. you think about it. I just wrote I wrote another act. So I got standards and stories, Sinatra and stories. I just wrote this other one. It's called More Standards and Stories, or How Did the Garbage Man's Son Get Here?
Mm.
That's the new show. So I'm working on that now. And I
That's
got a Christmas show I'm working on. I was thinking? My booker says to me, "Why don't you do a Christmas show? I mean, we can book you." And I said, "How do I do a Christmas show? One guy on a stage? I don't understand." I think back to Dean Martin shows and Frank's shows at Sinatra's show where they'd have a guest star, they'd have their family. Dina would come out and sing with Dean. You know what I mean?
yeah.
How do I do it one guy? And then I thought, wait a minute, I got a family, my band. My band is my family. So I told each of them, and the road guy, my road guy Andy, I told them each to come up with a Christmas story and a song that they would like to hear in the act or would like to be in, because they all sing, most of them. So I got a story, and then I'm going to make them one guy's going to be the Ghost of Christmas Past. One guy's gonna, and then
All the characters.
I'm gonna do family members like my drummer's grandpa, my bass player's dad. You know, it's that kind of thing.
That's so good though. That's
Yeah,
great.
and it actually worked. I actually and they gave me some unbelievable stories. I
Yeah.
mean, really, like,
Everyone has a
oh,
story. Yeah.
it's incredible,
Mhm.
incredible. I'm so excited, and I
Yeah.
get to tell mine. I got one.
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
mean, I got one about my father leaving the house. He used to leave the house at 5:30, and there was so much snow that I missed him before he left. And I came, and he always left me a half of an egg sandwich.
Okay.
And I ran to the window to see if I could see him, because I could see down the block from the window at the top of the house over there. And all I could see was his footprints. There was one set of footprints all the way down to the corner.
Wow.
And, yeah, and then he would hitchhike. He would hitchhike to Brooklyn.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
wow.
my father was another nut.
Oh no, back in the day, everybody was hitchhiking. So
I hitchhiked everywhere. When I was in college, I
yeah.
hitched from Iowa to New York. I hitchhiked. I used to just stick my finger out and go home to New York. It was weird.
Yeah.
I
Isn't it
loved it.
funny? We're so in such a different era now.
I know
Everything's
you
different.
wouldn't make your kids do it, or you wouldn't think to.
No, not anymore. Do you have
Yeah.
any fun hidden talents that we don't know about?
Um. Well, I am maybe the best boxer ball hitter. I'm serious. Look. I'm gonna have to go get it. I'm gonna have to go get it just to show you.
Say.
And by the way, I could have hit you with just the ukulele.
I know. I was
I
going to
could have
ask
hit
you
you with
about
that,
that.
but no, wait a minute, I'll show you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I hit it with weights, but so I might be a little bit not as okay. So this is a boxer ball.
Okay.
My son got it for me for my birthday, and basically you could do all sorts of. You could hit. Oh, yeah. Well, what? So you gotta, and as you know, a boxer, you don't want to hit too hard. You just want
Right.
to.
Yeah, look at you go. That's actually really good. It's good exercise and
Well,
everything.
I'm one of that. That's one. And then what else? What else can I do? You
Yeah.
know, I'm a pretty good tap dancer.
I
Yeah,
know. So in your shows, you tap dance, play ukulele. I mean,
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
show off.
we play ukulele with the band, and I'm trying to adapt the ukulele to the American songbook
Okay.
instead of 5'2". Yeah, wait, hold on. I'll get Lucy. Here's my
That's
Lucy, and it's you could do a little Hawaiian, and from the land of sand and sea.
mhm.
Yeah, I brought home a memory. You could do that. Or you could
Right.
do 5'2". I said, oh, don't do what you do. Anybody see my band? You do that. Or you
That's
could
so
do,
good.
maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm weak and maybe I'm strong. But nevertheless, I'm in love with you.
Aw.
Maybe I'll live, maybe I'll win. And you can do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so you can adapt it to the American songbook. I'm going to try in the show. I'm going to try a song I really love that Sinatra recorded, and it's one of Sammy Kahn, and I think it's Julie Stein, or it's Julie Stein. It's called "Guess I'll Hang My Tears Out to Dry."
Hmm.
Yeah, a really
Okay.
sweet song. And the band comes in and saves me, and it's everything. It's okay.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, your show's
Yeah,
going to be great. I mean, we can't wait to see you. One more question was
sure.
everyone just wants to know who do you keep in touch with from Who's the Boss?
Well, Alyssa and I are in touch all the time, and it's funny you mentioned. But last week, uh, I have a kids teen acting program, free program for a teen. It's acting, voice, dance, and wellness. The wellness is we take them shopping for groceries, and then we rent a kitchen on 57th Street and teach them how to cook.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, but we have this teen acting program. The slogan is teen acting, because when you teach a kid how to act, you teach a kid how to act. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called the Stars of Tomorrow Project,
Okay.
and it's .org if you want to go
I
online.
would
And
love to.
it's a great thing. And we did a show October 23rd, and in the show, the kids surprised me by
Oh,
doing a choral treatment on the themes of Taxi and Who's the Boss.
wow.
It's so fabulous. It's mind-boggling. I can't get over it. Anyway, um, they but the show was magnificent. But this part was really touching because I think my wait a minute, hold on. Maybe it's my thing here. I feel like it's a little better.
No, you
So
look
anyway, I sent it to Alyssa and to Judith to see their part. The Who's the Boss. It's fabulous. They do a
oh,
choral version of it. It's unbelievable,
that's so
and because we have great teachers in this thing, and so I keep in touch with them. And but you know who I'm really in touch with? The Taxi Gang is always in touch.
oh, that's great.
We do with Mary Lou because you got Mary Lou. Mary Lou does a Zoom. She pulls us on, and we're all together.
Oh,
Yeah. When are we doing our next Zoom? And
yeah,
we
yeah.
started in the pandemic. We do it like monthly at least.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's so
and so you
nice.
see them all the time, and then we constantly, because we're in touch, we constantly know where each other's going to be, who's in New York, who's in LA, and so we end up seeing each other.
Well, Tony, we're so excited to have you coming back to Atlantic City. You're going to be here next week on November 13th, 3:30 show, which is great at
Come
Tropicana.
on out. We're gonna have a good time, I promise.
It's going to be amazing. We'll see you there.